Hi everyone, this is Miss Rapp. We are going to be doing Algebra 2, Lesson 8, Quadratic Systems, page 16 to 19. So get that out and let's get started. Okay, let's get started with this opener. Antoine stands on a balcony and throws a ball to his dog who is at ground level. The ball's height in meters and X's time after Antoine threw the ball is modeled by h of x, so h being height, is negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16. Given the following questions, what specific key features of a quadratic am I asking for? When did the ball hit the ground? So the best way to do these is to just draw a little picture. So this would be seconds, and this would be height. So Antoine's standing on a balcony. So let's just say he's here. This is a negative quadratic, so I know it's facing down. So it looks something like that, right? And there's the dog. There's my really bad dog. There's the dog. Okay, when does the ball hit the ground? Well, the ground is at height of 0. So the height of the ball is at 0 right here. So that's going to be our x-intercept. Remember, this is x and this is y. So we're asking for the x-intercept. What time did the ball reach the max height? Well, the max height would be the top, right? So, and we all know the top of a quadratic is called the vertex. And more specifically, the max height. Oh, this should say, when did the ball reach the max? What time? Oh, actually, this is right. What time did the ball reach the max height? So it's asking about time. So it's asking about the x value of the vertex because that's seconds. Sorry, guys, I had to reread that. What is the max height? Well, that's still asking about the vertex, but that's asking about the y value. How tall is the balcony? Well, the balcony's right here. That's crossing the y. That's going to be the y-intercept. Okay, let's answer the questions above. So I'm just going to take a moment and write the equation here. So it said, when did the ball hit the ground? So I need to find the x-intercepts. So I'm going to set this equal to 0. There's a lot of ways to solve this. I'm going to factor. First off, take a GCF out. Minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. What multiplies to negative 8 but adds to negative 2? That's going to be negative 4 and 2. So I know I get negative 2x minus 4, x plus 2 equals 0. When I solve those, I get x equals 4, x equals negative 2. The question said, when did the ball hit the ground? Well, hitting the ball at negative 2 seconds doesn't make sense. So at x equals 4. So at 4 seconds. So B says, what time did the ball reach the max height? And we said we have to find the x value of the vertex. The x value of the vertex is x equals negative b over 2a. That's a formula from semester 1. So that's going to be, I'll just take the original, negative 4 over 2 times negative 2. That's negative 4 over negative 4. That's going to be 1 second. So the vertex, that's at 1, x equals 1. The y value, so for C, what is the max height? So that's going to be finding the y value. So now that I know that x equals 1, I just find h of 1, which is going to be negative 2 times 1 squared plus 4 times 1 plus 16. I just plugged it into the original. This is all review. So that's negative 2 plus 4 plus 16. That's going to be 18. And that's in meters. So the highest the ball gets was 18 meters. And then D was how tall is the balcony, and that's our y-intercept. So y-intercept means make x 0. So if I make x equals 0, I have h of 0 equals -2 times 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 16. Well, all those cancel out and I just get 16 meters. Here's a trick, everyone. In standard form, your y-intercept is just your last number. In standard form, your y-intercept is just your last number. Okay, let's keep going with these quadratic systems. Okay, take a moment to read this. Jennifer's on the Fairview diving team. When she does her perfect swan dive off the diving board, her projectile motion height in feet is modeled by, and x is seconds, y equals -3, x minus 1 squared plus 10. But wait, in the middle of her dive, a bird flies through, and the line of flight of the bird is modeled linearly by y equals -3/2 x plus 10. Will the bird hit Jennifer? If so, when? So let's think about this and graph it. So this is a review of graphing quadratics and graphing linear. So our vertex is 1, 10, a equals -3. So 1, 10 is going to be right there. So that's our vertex, and I'm going to go down over 1, down 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go over 1, down 9. So there is Jennifer's swan dive. But this is really the swan dive. Like, this is where Jennifer starts, and then she jumps up and goes down, and like this would be the water. Okay, so the linear line, my y-intercept is 10. I'm going to go down 3 over 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it looks like they cross twice. This point looks like, what is that, 1? That's 2, 7. And then I don't know what that is. But I can clearly see that that's 2, 7. So the bird and Jennifer are going to hit each other in the beginning of her jump, and then like on her descend at 2 seconds and 7 feet. Okay. So yes, the bird will hit Jennifer. If so, when? Twice. But we know one of the times, we got to find the other. So now we're going to solve using substitution. So I'm going to set these equal to each other. So we need to solve for x. One of our answers will be x equals 2. We know that. We'll see it. But here's how you do this. So you need to expand as much as you possibly can. So you have to figure out what x minus 1 squared is. So over here, I'll just draw the box. So I get x squared, -x, positive 1. So now I have -3 x squared minus 2x, because I combine these, plus 1 plus 10 equals -3 halves x plus 10. Okay, we got to work through this. So I'm going to FOIL. I'm going to distribute that -3. -3x squared plus 6x minus 3 plus 10 equals -3 halves x plus 10. I'm going to wait here. This is a good time to pause, see if yours matches mine. Write down any questions you might have. Okay, let's combine like terms and keep going. I get -3x squared plus 6x plus 7 equals -3 halves x plus 10. I'm going to bring everything to the left side. So I'm going to like add 3 halves, subtract 10, get 0. So I get -3x squared. If I add this to 6, I get positive 7.5. And then that's going to be -3 equals 0. Okay, so I need to solve for X. I'm going to use the quadratic formula. Or you can complete the square, whatever strategy you want. This is your call. So when I do the quadratic formula on this, I get X equals 2 and X equals 0.5. And if you think about that, that really is where it hits, right? That's like right in between 0 and 1. So we need to plug in to find y. So we know when, now we need to know the height. So y equals -3/2 times 2 plus 10. That's going to be, that's -6/2, that's -3. So -3 plus 10 is y equals 7. So we just found 2, 7, which was over there. And then when I plug in 0.5, I get y equals 9.25. So the bird hits Jennifer twice. The bird hits Jennifer, they collide at 2 seconds and 7 feet and at half a second and 9.25 feet. Oh, Jennifer really did not get lucky on this one. Okay, guys, so make sure you do your video check-in form, rewatch this if you need any help, make sure you ask questions, and have a great day.